Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spinner Racker comic book review show here on the Master Powercast channel. And since it is the Christmas season, we thought we would check out an issue of Detective Comics because when I think of Christmas and superheroes, more often than not, I'm thinking Batman because Batman Returns. You think about the animated series, and more often than not, in the episodes of the animated series, there's snow going on. So I always think of winter time, Christmas time, Batman. And here we are, Detective Comics issue 826, February 2007. So this one a little bit newer of a comic than what we're used to covering here on the rack.
Yeah, and I was oblivious to it when it came out because I think I had checked out around 2005 or 6. I think I was fed up with how Batman was being written at the time, and Hush being a disappointment, even though it looked great. I liked the Riddler and seeing all the villains and stuff like this. Like, this is just not that great. And bringing back Jason Todd, I read a little bit of that, and then the fact that Batman fucked Talia and they had a bastard kid, and you're like, this is stupid. And I was like, I'm out. So I hate, and because of that, I missed this gem coming out.
And boy, what a what a dark comic this is. I would expect nothing less having Joker featured heavily in this. But as you can see on the cover here, we have Robin tied up, and Joker's got a gun pointing at his head.
And he's in control of a moving car at the moment there. So what the hell could be going on in this right here?
And we are about to find out. Well, first off, let's get down here to Paul Dini is the name that stuck out to me the most out of this. Tyler Paul Dini, very infamous within our pop culture zeitgeist.
Oh, most definitely. With as much as he wants to pretend like it didn't exist, his work on He-Man is legendary. He did a lot of great things with the mythology, and obviously wrote some of the best episodes of Batman in the animated series by far. And had a I know he's worked on some comics, but like this particular run of Batman that he worked on was quite good because he comes up with the idea too of Riddler reforming for a time and being a private investigator.
Okay,
And which is kind of cool. It's because I'm not too big on like villains becoming good guys and staying that way, but the idea like he teams up with Batman to help solve a crime. And I think it goes for a couple of issues, and there's like another one too where he's works with Batman. He's a villain. He's back to being a villain, but will help Batman solve like a crime where a villain is kind of stealing his gimmick again.
Mm-hmm.
But Danny did some pretty cool stuff with his run during this stretch here. And Don Kramer is another Batman artist. And then as for outside of Bob Kane, I'm not too familiar with the rest of the roster, people who worked on this wonderful book.
I was about to say Paul Dini was the only one that was sticking out to me personally, but this book is titled Sleigh Ride. I think that is very appropriate.
Yeah, the play on the word there too is like, yeah, this is wonderfully appropriate.
So we have a Robin here at the beginning on his motorcycle, and at the time that I'm reading this, I don't know what Robin this is. I'm assuming anyone that was reading issues prior to this obviously knows which Robin this is from the start. So Tyler, go ahead. We'll go ahead and explain which Robin that this is for everyone, because we're just jumping into this issue, much like I did when I read it last night. I'm like, okay, Robin's here. I don't know who, but Robin is in this.
Yeah, it's Tim Drake. They pretty much like I know Damian becomes, a version of Robin, but at this point, I don't know if he was still around or if he was killed off, because he would be killed off in the comics. But this is definitely Tim Drake's Robin, and Dick Grayson's featured, in a minor role as well. So you've got technically two Robins in the story, but
and Tim Drake, very, very familiar with the Joker,
all too well. Well, yeah, well. Well, yes, I guess I think of like Jason Todd being very familiar with
that. I feel like maybe all the Robins have.
I mean, they all are. They've all had their their fair shares of battling him with Batman or even on their own.
Yeah, well, because I think it's one of those things that each time we have a new version of Robin at some point that anyone's writing the book is we have to take this Robin and put him in a very precarious situation with the Joker that sometimes ends up in tragedy.
Which and it's good to see like these younger characters, kind of thrown into the fire. Oftentimes, I mean, they'll battle. I mean, like Tim Drake's, got dealings with Two Faces had dealings with the Robins as well too, and it's just interesting to see the youngsters like, okay, well, if you're gonna hang with Batman, like at some point you're gonna be on your own, and you're gonna be dealing with one of the top tier villains of Gotham. It's gonna happen at some point.
And how do you feel about that? Because obviously stories have to evolve over time. So having other people take over the mantle of Robin seems logical in that respect. But then also too, when you think about it, a lot of people when reading comics don't want anything to veer off too much. So with them having so many versions of Robin, are you okay with that, or you're like, why are we doing this still? Just kind of keep it more concise and just have Dick Grayson be Robin and just stick with that.
I'm cool with the three Robins, and at this point I don't know if they've thrown in another one after Damian. I don't know, and I don't care because it's hard for me to get pulled into modern books. I mean, this is about as modern as it gets, and I've read some other. Probably some that are even later than this book too, thanks to our friend Danielle. But I like the three Robins because at least with the first two you had progression. Dick quit and went on to do his own thing, became Nightwing. Jason Todd was killed and then was brought back to life and became the Red Hood, and then taken up the man as a younger Robin, Tim Drake. And I think stopping there was like a great point. After that, I'm like, they're going to do what they want to do because they feel like they got to keep doing this, introducing a new youngster or something like that. And maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but that's where it stops for me. Because I feel like there's progression with the first two Robins, and you have a new one, and you can just keep it straight from there.
So this particular Robin spent the last week following on tips on guys shooting at me, gun dealers who are selling to gang kids. And then the day that he decides to take them down, rival dealers show up and shoot it out with them. So he's caught in the middle of this, and he's being chased. At this point, we see some of the gadgetry here at work. So the cape's armor is what's helping protect him from the bullets being shot into his back.
Which is very close there. Dan could have taken his ear off there.
Yeah. And for the most part, all we get from his side of things is just the narration. There's not going to be much word bubble for him.
No. And it's fitting for this kind of story. You don't need like vocal exposition or monologue. It's just inner monologue with how he's viewing the situation, and that's what a good writer does, especially with comics. You don't need to let the pictures sell it. And I mean, when you're a fan and you're wanting to read comics and you burn through them so fast, it's like, oh, it's already over. But it would serve no purpose to have this multiple bubbles of just Robin throwing out bad quips and trying to be witty about the situation or something like that. A writer trying to get himself over thinking he's being clever.
But the bike gets smashed up. Sorry about the bike, Bruce. Still getting shot at as we move on to the next page here. Of course, we have a car that smashes into the car that was chasing.
Yeah,
Robin.
You got the gang split up, or the two rivals split up, and it appears like they collided into each other, and the chase is not over yet. And a car pulls up and just happens to see Robin, and recognize him and say, "Robin, over here." And
I don't know who that is at this point. I don't care. So he decides to hop in, and then we get the Joker saying "sup."
All I can do is picture Mark Hamill, sitting in that car, or his version of the Joker sitting in that car and speaking the way that Mark Hamill would speak as the Joker, and it's glorious. It's
very creepily drawn too.
Yeah,
like throughout this is just to hit the way that he looks in this. I mean, it's familiar as Joker, but looking at I'm like, there is that. Well done. Basically,
it's not you know, so similar, but it just kind of reminds me of the way Brian Boland drew him in The Killing Joke. Like
Yeah.
the look, and of course the way the colors are very polished, but not excessively polished. It just looks very good and sharp. And there's certain times his nose looks like it's drawn a little too big, but
Mhm.
not so much like the way Jim Lee drew the Joker's nose, like he had the fucking penguin nose. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? The Joker's nose doesn't need to be that fucking long.
Right.
That's the only time I've ever had any disagreement about Jim Lee's artwork, because he's perfect damn near all the time. But the way he drew the Joker is like, dude, man, turn it back a bit on the nose, man. That just seemed too silly.
So he hits him with some gas, and then at this point we kind of go from this into just sort of a dream state, where, as you mentioned before, we're going to get an appearance by Nightwing, and here in a bit, Bruce.
Yeah, they're just kind of taking it easy inside of a secret hideaway here, while Bruce is outside training, and Tim's just watching old Marx Brothers reruns on TV, and decides to talk to Dick about, do you know much about the Joker in general? And he's like, what do you mean? Like, more than what Bruce has been willing to tell us. And he's like, look, the story's pretty much changed. There's a multitude of different interpretations of who this guy is.
Yeah.
And it's just, it just kind of plays up more of the the mystery of the character, which it really needs to stay that way.
Yeah.
I still subscribe to the way that Mask of the Phantasm, and of course the '89 film, where he was just a nasty gangster to begin with, and the accident just cranked it up to 15 after that, and that he was, Killing Jokes. It's a wonderful book, but that's not him being a failed comedian, and it's just one bad day. Like, it's a great take on the origin of Joker, but I still like him being an asshole to begin with.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. But I do like the idea that you can take any of those and toss them out there that way, and just keep it shrouded, and no one really knows for sure.
Yeah, and it needs to stay that way. I mean, just like so many great villains, unless you're going to get, because I feel like, how many times can you have a villain have just a really fucked up childhood, and it's like, okay, it's been done to death. We've seen this before. Tragedy. It's just like, nah, let's just have some of this be a little bit more mysterious. It can be fucked up and allude to it, but.
And while they are discussing that, Bruce is out here just training.
Yeah, it appears to be like on this kind of ship or dock, and just breaking very thick pieces of lumber,
Yeah.
And very impressive.
Going back to them watching Marx Brothers on the TV, did you watch any? I never really watched Marx Brothers.
I still, to this day, have never seen a single episode of the Marx Brothers, because I never saw it on TV. I've seen it to buy over the years.
Yeah, same.
But I was a Three Stooges guy. It's pretty much like what what's said in the book. I've always been a Three Stooges guy. That was what was available, and that's what I was drawn to. I would see, reference to, and Looney Tunes would reference the Marx Brothers, but I just never took time to actually sit down and watch them at all.
Yeah. But we do get, and I love this part of it, where he's saying, I've seen him saunter into a room and then stop just to listen to those first curious whispers and savor how quickly they turn into screams. It's candy to him, a sip of rare wine, the chorus of a favorite song, blood in the water.
Yeah. And
that's
then Bruce chimes in. Yeah.
Because Bruce knows him better than anybody. So then his eyes dart around until they lock with the person who is scared of him the most.
Which that is, I mean, any fan of the Joker is well aware. I mean, that's the most elegant way of putting like what the character is all about.
Yeah. And I love how this is put too, like a comic going into a routine, and God help the poor soul he chooses. So yeah, and then we start to get some singing going on, and then of course Joker's. I mean, look at that, like just
And the lights from inside the car, like with the lights around the radio and the just shining on Robin and the Joker to add, a little extra, texture to the scene inside of the car. Like, it's not completely, all in dark and shadows. There's shadow in there too, but I just like seeing that there's lights from inside the car. Obviously the Christmas lights are what's illuminating right now, but I always took it like that part of the lights from the stereo system are probably gleaming as well.
Yeah, yeah, you get not only that, but probably just maybe other passing cars
Oh
going
yeah.
going by as well. But we get some really good Joker dialogue here. Sorry about the gasp. I didn't want you getting the wrong idea and start pounding on your old Unca Joker.
And
But
you know, I had to and had to belt him in, of course, and
yeah,
just like, yeah, that's to have picture what Joker, like, to him going through all that, like gagging him with the Christmas ornament in the mouth, using Christmas lights.
yeah.
It's just like an extra fun little gimmick of tying him up too.
And I mean, you got to think about with these bulb ornaments, like obviously you can't bite down on it, otherwise you're going to get the shards in your
Yeah,
mouth and everything too. So
and had to wedge that in there good. You know,
yeah,
because as much as Joker would cause unbelievable harm to Tim given the opportunity, he's not going to do it immediately. So yeah, like he wouldn't shove it in there and just like shards of ornament going in. Like no, he wouldn't do that immediately. I don't think.
no, because his whole thing is, as we'll see here, Tim in his narration, it's like, all right, yeah, he's doing this, he's setting up for this, he's lying about this, but it's hot in here, hard to stay awake, and that gets me thinking about um, tying this into Christmas, going to my grandmother's and sitting there, and she would have the heat cranked way up, and you're just sitting there. I don't know if you've ever really experienced this much, Tyler, because you like to just be in cold rooms all the time. But have you ever just been sitting there in a room and they got the heat cranked up, and you're just sleepy all of a sudden, and you're just all fighting hard to not doze off?
I don't think I've ever really, because people have talked about that, and the heat really doesn't. It relaxes me, but it just makes me hot, like uncomfortable.
Okay.
Not at the point where I get sleep, because I've been in my mom's house, you know, like for Christmas Eve back in the day, and it's such a teeny tiny little mountain house, and the main room with the tree and the presents and TV would be, I mean, just packed with heat because she'd have like this big kind of big ass, you know, stove heater in there,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
you know, but would never make me sleep or anything. Like, just like, man, I gotta step out of the room here or something. Like, I'm just getting hot. The heat doesn't make me sleepy, but I enjoy a good heater though.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, just sitting there, like I wouldn't be involved in the conversation. I would just be sitting and listening, and I'm just fighting sleep. So I know exactly what he's going through right here. But fight the gas, use the pain in my shoulder, stay conscious. So got a lot going on to try to just keep awake. But while we have all that, Joker said, "Hey, speaking of belts, tossed yours out the window about 10 minutes ago. Precautions and all that."
yeah. He says it just like you, like their buddies almost.
Yeah,
That's the conversation. That's how you know, that's how it comes off. And I
yeah.
love that about Paul Dini's writing.
And he goes on to say, I can't believe we ran into each other. You'll never believe it, but I couldn't have planned this. Not in a million years. Just
And that's what's so cool. This whole story is nothing but it's just a coincidence. That's all it is. Just
yeah,
random sighting and just improvised on the spot. Hey, I'm gonna go probably jump in the car. And,
yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, Joker's just taking in the holiday atmosphere.
yeah.
So it's like, hey, the kid's in trouble. Why not cut him a break, right? And then as he's talking, he's messing with the radio. So as you were talking about, you're like, I can hear Mark Hamill. I can as well. And just this, if you toned it down just a little bit, probably this could be an episode of the animated series without a doubt.
Almost definitely. Of course, the most fucked up stuff is what the Joker is known for in this in this I was gonna say, this episode, in this issue. It would, you know, of course, if it was done the way they always do with direct to video DC animated movies, they just like, oh, we have the rights to do it exactly we want to, so we're just gonna fuck it all up and add and change this and pull this out and add this in and add like a bullshit, you know, subplot that has nothing to do with the main comic because well, I'm trying to be more creative. Like fuck you.
But I do love this entire these four panels right here of just Joker looking at him saying stuff, but just this big grin on his face. Of course, Tim saying, "Don't react, don't give them anything." But yeah, look, this evening came as a complete surprise for both of us, so I'm calling a truce. Maybe it's that old Christmas spirit, or that pressing my advantage would be anticlimactic. Either way, I'm letting you go, and of course, you can't buy into that.
Yeah. No way.
But,
just keep your mind numb to the heat and stay sharp.
yeah.
And just like you just it looks like Tim is definitely his head kind of in that top panel, like just kind of like almost like dozing, but like he's trying to focus on like, oh my
Mhm.
god, oh my god, oh my god, like stay sharp and don't panic now. But like, oh my god, there's so much, like trying to process what Joker could be planning, what is he going to be doing, what is going to happen to me, and then boom, someone runs out, or Joker claims someone runs out in front of the car.
Yeah. He's looking forward here while he's messing with the radio, but then decides to turn and start talking to Tim.
Take a
We
sense
see,
it's got to be some sort of trick. Like whatever he's doing is like, it's, I don't buy whatever he's planning. Like he's not letting
yeah.
me go. There's something more to this.
So he
And then
hits
bam.
this guy. Yeah, and he's like, "Did you see that poor old man? He ran right out in front of me. We better back up and help him." And then, of course, you have Tim kind of. This is when he's starting to react a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a good idea. So we just get the bump here, but
Yeah.
then you don't see it yet. But take note in the back seat. Look at that. Looks like
Yeah,
the top of
there's
someone's
someone.
head.
Yeah, someone's head's in the back seat, which with the Joker shouldn't be a surprise. But I love the kind of hints.
Yeah, see if he's okay, will you? And then how does it look? And then
Like, oh, this poor couple out Christmas shopping. It's just fuck.
Yep.
Very, very. I mean, I just love how grotesque the grins on their faces are. The tears in the husband's eyes from the crying, and a little bit in the wife's. It's yeah. And then we'll kind of expand a little bit with Robin here in a minute.
But Joker decides to call 911. I'd like to report a hit and run on the corner of Market and Broome. But then hits someone else.
Shop, yeah, just oh my god! And look at the car too. Like,
yeah,
it's and I look at that woman like, yeah, she's probably a beautiful woman shopping for her kids or her boyfriend or something like that. Fuck, man.
Yeah. And obviously, with the damage already done to the car from the previous one, he's going pretty quick. I mean, you can even see here with the snow trails.
Yeah, it's like slipping and sliding, and he's enjoying every minute of it.
Oops, my bad. Make that Market and Boyle.
Yeah. And they're obviously like something's wrong, up with this phone call, and then Tim's trying to get out. What was very appropriate,
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Yeah.
It's written here more in the way of like Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Joker saying, "Hey, there's no reason for language like that. It's snowing out. The roads do get slippery." And then
just continues to hit a whole slew of more people.
As this guy's just standing there.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, what is that guy's deal? Like, he just barely got missed.
I mean,
but he'll probably get hit by the gentleman who's
flying
at the rear of the car. Yeah.
Hey, you're kind of testy. Are you hungry? I'm starved.
I love this. This is great.
Yeah. And then, of course, he's starting to think here. There's the young couple in the back, toys, because we didn't point that out. There are wrapped presents in the back. So there's probably toys. That means kids. Kids are always dropping stuff under the seat. But Tyler and I have no experience with that because we don't have children. But yeah, kids fuck up cars. I've seen.
Which I'm guilty. I remember the day I got Evelyn at Hills, I left crayons in the back seat of my mom's Honda, and the crayons melted in the back seat.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Did now, was that one of those things that you got in trouble for that, or
no? My mom, was just she knew it was an accident. She knew I had the crayons, and it was just one of those things. And for years, that stain in that Honda was in the back seat of the car.
Oh no!
And it wasn't like a massive stain. It was a small, like yellow reddish stain.
Mm-hmm.
And it was small enough to where it wasn't like excessively noticeable, but we knew where it was, and it was just a reminder of that trip to Hills. So my mom still remembers that to this day.
I can't recall any memory of doing any damage to the back seat of a vehicle as a kid, because more often than not, if we had drinks with us in the car, it was more of one of those things of handing it to me, I take a drink, hand it back, so there's no risk of me like putting
dropping
it somewhere.
Oh my god, there's Coke all over the seat. I'm sorry, Mom.
And you know how my mom is. She was very stickler for everything being like very nice and tidy and clean. And so, yeah,
And it's a good merit to have. You know,
it is, but sometimes it can reach a point to where it's too much, you know, like, why am I, you're having to walk on eggshells to make sure that you're not spilling anything
and if she
or
catches,
dropping
she comes
anything.
at you with her fist like this. And
No, she doesn't. No, she wouldn't get, no, she never did that. But I can't recall ever really making any messes, or because mom always made a point to check under the seats. But I think about Josh, of course, having all those kids, and I went over to his house one day and he was cleaning. Like, actually, he had the carpet cleaner stuff, and he was like spraying it on the seats and like scrubbing the stain out and everything. So
God,
yeah, kids are messy, but I love that Joker's like, what's that place with those eggnog shakes?
it's time of year.
I could go for one of those. Do you do eggnog?
No. I
No?
tried it once. I think it's not pleasant at all. I feel like everyone around me likes eggnog, but not me.
So I didn't try eggnog until probably about 9-10 years ago. And obviously I had it with some rum, and that tasted pretty good mixing it with a dark rum. But it's one of those things that I can't drink a lot of it. I'll have like a drink of it and then I'm good. I haven't had eggnog for probably 7 years at this point, because I done it a couple times. I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but it's not for me.
Just the name for decades, like eggnog, like that sounds awful. Whatever that is, like you weren't going to get me to try, and Erica finally got me to try. I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't like eggnog. No.
But Tim is looking for anything like broken CD case, whatever. He finds this little car
and says they have a little boy, and then he immediately, instead of like, oh my God, this child is going to lose his parents at Christmas, and he's like, focus.
Yeah.
Like, don't dwell on that.
Joker's saying, this place looks good. Take your order, please. Yes, indeedy. Thank you. Starts listing us off. I got to think, getting a burger with a lot of mustard and double pickles and bacon, crispy bacon. It sounds okay, but I think the mustard for me would be a little too much. Like, I like mustard on a burger, but not. I'm assuming he wants it drenched, but he keeps going on and on with his order. Sir, you're gonna have to talk a little slower, sir. And you can just see as he's ordering, he's getting lost in that.
And the stuff that he's ordering, like, I love the fact that, he emphasizes. I want with fake pie thing is with boiling hot juice on the inside that scalds the roof of your mouth. Like, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Just feel like those apple pies at McDonald's, like you got them like, fresh and hot, or like a strudel, a Pillsbury strudel. You bite into it because the inside is hot, and yeah, it's very, very relatable. But knowing that this guy gets off on that kind of shit,
of course he would.
And then once obviously two eggnog shakes, a boys' kiddie meal, and I'll pay extra for a full assortment of the toys that come with like that. Like, that's just like, man, I have memories of McDonald's back in the late 80s, early 90s. Got to get the toys. Who's available this week?
Yeah.
It's something it makes the Joker so likable when he's being such a bona fide asshole and prick, man.
Yeah.
A sick fuck. But he likes toys. I'm like, I do too.
I remember with Happy Meals, always, especially if I had already gotten one of the toys, asking specifically, like, who else do you have? Because I already have this one. And of course, they just go in the back, and it's like, oh, here you go. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it's the new one. Like, all right, I got this one. Like, or the times from McDonald's was selling both girl and boy stuff. Like, they'd have like Hot Wheels. That one week where they would sell Hot Wheels for the boys and something like very like,
usually
something for girls. So
it would be Barbie or My Little Pony, I believe.
Yeah, but the neutral boy toy was always a Hot Wheel of some kind. It was like a car, which was like, okay, that's fine. But I was more partial. Like, I need characters like Super Mario Brothers 3. I need, the Batman animated series of Batman Returns, or McDonald's when they did the DC superheroes with Looney Tunes.
Dude, I love those where it's like you could take the uniform off and snap it back. I love it. So it was what Taz was the Flash.
Yeah, Bugs was Superman. Daffy was Batman.
Uh-huh.
And I think Petunia was Wonder Woman. I
Yep.
think.
Yep. You were correct.
And the Bernstein Bears, Garfield,
the Michael Jordan,
the
Happy
Muppet
Meal.
Babies. I mean, it was
Muppet
just,
Babies.
Oh my God, classic. Dude! It was McDonald's and Burger King to a certain extent were really just like they were kicking all kinds of ass with Happy Meals with the toys. Like they really realized what a big deal the licensing of getting all these awesome, cartoons to book related stuff to, and then going into feature films. Like, no, this is a big deal. Like we sell a lot of these little toys and cups.
Yeah.
Commemorative cups and things like that.
I was actually talking to Tom about the cups, like just in general, like before, how it would be characters on Welch's jelly jars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I just miss companies doing that and having the promotional cups or glasses. I guess at this point, what would you bring back other than maybe re-releasing what you had in the past as like a nostalgia run sort of thing? But I just got like the Muppets glasses and bring all that shit back.
Yeah, the Batman Returns cups and the Batman Forever glasses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it even though I wanted all of them, I didn't get all of them because that's one of those things. It's like, not all kids were fortunate enough to keep going back that many times and just checking to see,
Yeah,
you're at the mercy of your parents. Like, no, you're going to turn into a chicken nugget. You're not getting McDonald's again. Like,
now more often than not, when they would have those promotions running, because we would always eat out on Fridays. That was the routine. Always going to eat out, and there would be times specifically where I was like, "Hey, you think we could go to McDonald's again? Because I need to get and they'd be like, "Yeah, okay, we'll do that this time." But there were times they're like, "I don't want McDonald's. We're going to Burger King." I'm like, "Okay," and then
That was my brother. So he wanted Burger King. I would want McDonald's, and I'm like, "I want my damn chicken nuggets." He wants chicken tenders, like. But I love Burger King's chicken tenders. They were great, but I always hold McDonald's in the highest regard as a child. I remember on any road trip going to the beach or Pennsylvania, I'm looking for that golden arch anywhere on the side. Like, I wonder what toys they got, and that's what I'm focused on.
Yeah. Oh man, good times. So Joker, you're talking way too fast. You have to repeat on that. All the incompetence.
And so he storms up to the drive-through window.
And then gives her a piece of his mind. Yeah, gosh, I think we've all been there in the drive-through. Or I've certainly got some fast food stories and experiences with.
Oh boy, do you ever? Of course, yours really didn't have to do with the drive-through. It was more about the interior.
Yeah, yeah.
But
so
I will say, like, because back in the day, like the intercom systems were a lot of times like. You're like, oh my God, did they get what we said? And you get home, and oh my God, they took a shit on my burger. Not necessarily. They put pickles and onions and mayonnaise and mustard. This is, I can't eat this.
Now the Cookout, the fast food restaurant, is kind of notorious for their speakers being pretty shitty. I remember actually, I think it was the last time we went. I started to order, and it was like, and I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. And I just drove off. I was like, I'm not, we're going to go somewhere else. Cause this is just going to be a terrible experience. So I kind of know what Joker's going through to an extent, but
he speaks quite eloquently too. Like he
does,
as angry as he is, he's being quite, his knowledge of the English language is coming out quite clearly here.
Yeah, his 10-cent words like cephalopod.
Yeah.
I have better things to do than repeat myself ad nauseum in the fleeting hope that through some miracle you might somehow triumph over your own crushing ignorance and get one item of my order right. I demand to see your manager. I'm sorry, sir. How may I help you? They just shoot.
Jeez. It's killed his mood for eggnog shakes.
Oh boy!
And just that look, you're like, I really want one of the shakes.
At this point, Tim says, "I'm going to break every bone in your body. I promise, every bone."
And I'm quite confident if Tim was cut loose in a open environment, he would beat the fuck out of the Joker.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how long he would keep his hands on him, but Joker would be walking away feeling pretty sore or fucked up. That night or the next day.
But Joker's immediately over this. Oh, well, life's
Yeah.
filled with disappointments.
Because he pulls a gun out. And then,
Uh,
I love that he deliberately is like, oh, yeah, that car back there. I put that back there and gave you false hope. Yeah. And by the way, I'm not letting you go.
Yeah. God.
And this right here is probably the best image of the Joker. Like the
It is.
veins in his eyes and around his eyes. Like it's just like he's really gritting that smile. Like stretching the muscles in his face to have that kind of, pressure building up within the smile there.
But as Joker's saying, I promise you there's nothing else under there, Tim says there's always another way out, always.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's starting to realize that his hands are sweating, and
that's a good thing.
Well, may as well ditch the gag, too, in case you'd like to beg now. Oh, man.
And Robin's still staying quiet.
Yeah. How about it, Boy Wonder? Tell me your Christmas wish. As if I couldn't guess. And then he's like, oh, look. Kids and a Santa.
Yeah, it's like this is like, oh boy, this is, and he would do it. He'll do it.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, the glove is almost off, so his sweaty hands are starting to work. And now here comes my wish come true, and this is a really good shot.
Yeah,
too.
Playing off the eyes, like I think even Batman, if for some reason he was completely immobile, would have panic in his eyes over this because he knows the Joker would more than happily do that.
So at this point, this is when we kind of circle back to earlier watching when we're getting the part where Tim's asking about the Joker and he's watching Marx Brothers. So he pulls out the quote, "You can't fool me. There ain't no sanity clause." And then Joker
like immediately, obviously the people are trying to get out of the way, but he just veers the other direction and he's just taken aback like, holy hell, a Marx Brothers quote. Like he's so enamored with Robin in that moment that he's willing to forget all that and talk about the Marx Brothers. Like I love that layer of his personality that he can be distracted when talking about something he's really passionate about that doesn't involve killing.
Yeah. Very good indeed. I'm impressed. It does my heart good to know that today's mindless youth's not forgotten the classics. And this is, I love this part too, because Tim says, sure, I love the big store. Oh, but that line isn't from the big store. It's from A Night at the Opera. I don't think so. You call yourself a fan.
It's from and getting very specific. Like he's marking out for like, no, which I'm like another very relatable moment.
I was going to say, this sounds like you right here. It's like, oh, no, that's not it. It's this. I thought you were a true fan.
And just starts breaking down the scene that he's talking about.
Yep. And at that point, he gets punched in him.
Yeah. And we're off and running now.
One chance to do this fast. Don't make jokes. Just go Batman on his ass.
Yeah. He's got the right idea. Don't fuck around. And gets to the back seat, and Joker ends up hitting the murdered father and right in his smiling teeth and cuts his knuckles up.
Yeah. But you could just like picture it like here.
Oh God, yeah.
And he had to hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, because those are frozen. Like that smile is not. You can't move the mouth; it's locked in. So those teeth, there's no give. So yeah, it definitely would have fucked up his hand pretty good there. And then slams him into the light inside the car, like on the roof.
Yep. And at this point, Tim notices round bulge in his coat, has to be that, and hits him with the gas that he was hit with at the beginning. And Joker falls out. You don't win this way, not with my own damn joke. He falls out of the car, and he's gathering himself together. And God,
because there's something on coming forth there.
And I love, hey, if this weren't happening to me, it would be funny. Oh, what the hell? I can take a joke.
Yeah. So, is, I can hear Mark Hamill doing that.
Yeah. So he gets sideswiped here by the truck. He goes careening off the bridge.
He's falling in one of those truck beds back there as that one tractor trailer's flying by.
Yeah, because you can see the opening in the back there.
And the aftermath of the accident, and Batman's arrived on the scene.
Yeah, it's an interesting design for the Batmobile too.
Yeah, but it's subtle. Like it's not like You know, because sometimes people design I think of like Schumacher with the way he had the Batmobile design, where like the fins are just flopping around because they're just too cumbersome, and but it's toned down enough, but clearly enough to, you know, it's clearly the Batmobile.
Yeah, Tim asks, is there any point in hoping they found his body on the street? It doesn't look like it. Thanks, Santa. And here I thought I had been so good this year. But then, you know, Bruce saying, I'm proud of you, Tim. You took the worst Joker could give you and you beat him.
Yeah. And
So
that's a big compliment coming from Batman.
Yeah. And it might not make you feel better about his victims, but he won't be hurting anyone else for a long time. That's something, I guess. So
sometimes that's all we get.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely more of a throwback to kind of that like 70. Is it more like 70s era Batmobile, roughly? Or maybe a little, it seems like kind of a combo of stuff, like having this.
Yeah, I kind of feel like even further back, you know.
Yeah, it may go further back.
But I like it. You know, it looks, because sometimes, I mean, there's been so many interpretations of the Batmobile with Hot Wheels, the comics, the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Some are really good, and some are like, what the hell were you guys thinking when you designed this piece of shit?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, there's no way in hell, you know, Batman's going to be, you know, obviously you want to know, yeah, that's the Batmobile, but you don't want to be just so, you know, over the top with its design. You know, I think one of the most simplistic ones is the one used in the Robert Pattinson Batman. You know, it's fine for what it is, but it's not. I wouldn't put it as like a memorable Batmobile by any means.
Oh, I know, absolutely not. But I think in the context of what they were going for with it being a young Batman, and he's starting out, there was nothing wrong.
I'm fine with it. It doesn't take me out of the moment, even though there's other things that do take me out of the moment in that movie.
Yeah,
but that's not one of them.
Yeah, which was a shame. I really wanted to like that one.
Me too.
I really did. But yeah, that's how this story ends. Tim,
the sleigh ride is over.
Yeah, the sleigh ride is over. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Very fucked up, but a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Would you recommend kind of reading more of this run around this time?
Oh, definitely. Paul Dini stuff's always enjoyable. You know, I haven't read everything he's done, but stuff around this time, like I said, with the Riddler, you know, is enjoyable because that goes on, I think, for a couple of issues of him being, and I don't know how long that stretch was in the comics of him being a private investigator, but that was Paul Dini's idea, that he reforms and actually tries to help solve crimes, and seeing like him in his suit, not the onesie outfit with the question marks, but the suit with the blazer and the derby. He just looks cool. It's a cool visual, like him sitting in the Batmobile with Batman, you know, working on a case together. You know, it's because obviously, you know, you don't want it to last forever, because like that kind of, it's the fucking Riddler. I wanted to be a bad guy, but it's a nice change of pace seeing that, and you know, I would recommend checking that out as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess because we were talking about this because of this issue in a roundabout way, you've resubbed up to the DC app again.
Yeah. After I was like, I read what I wanted to, and I kind of just like fade out and go back to Marvel. And after rereading this, just for the purpose of this, like last week, I'm like, I want to go back and read some more of these again, and sub right back up. And $12.99 later, I'm you know, rereading a lot of stuff I read before, and trying to find a few other things that either I haven't read before or that I was intending to read and didn't get around to it, or something like that. So
yeah, I think because of this issue as well, and you recommending more of the run, and especially that Riddler arc, I might sub up and check it out. But I think maybe because usually when I get on the comic apps, I do the annual plan. Maybe with the DC one, maybe I should just go with the monthly. I don't know, because on one hand, it's like, all right, pay this sum, you got it for the year, and then if I'm not using it that much, when I know that it's coming up again, maybe just go ahead and get rid of it. But yeah, I need to, as we've mentioned on here plenty of times, I'm glad that we did a DC oriented comic this go round, because we have been Marvel heavy, but not only that, we did DC and we did something to us relatively newer. So
yeah. And I read this last year. I was like, damn, we just missed the opportunity to talk about this during the holidays. Well, I'll wait a year, and when we get closer, I was like, I got Nathan, we're getting closer to December. Put this down as like, we have to do this for the spinner rack. If we do one comic book for the holidays, it's got to be this.
So I I have on the notes app on my phone just episode topics and for all the various things, and you can kind of even, I mean, not the, but you can see right there. It's like that's the spinner rack, so it's just got all of this stuff that we plan to cover at some point down the road. But I really enjoyed that. I think is the app better now? Because
it is. You can the search engine works a lot better where you can get very specific. If you are looking for a very specific issue of Batman, just type in like Detective Comics, 704,
okay,
and it'll pop right up. You don't have to like dig and dig and dig and dig. They're pretty good about putting together arcs together.
Okay.
As opposed to like having to dig through and trying to find specific issues or find the issue and then start. You can go to like a specific story arc in the book. Like if you wanted to read Nightfall, the Breaking of Batman, you can click on Nightfall and every issue of that arc is there to read in chronological order.
All right.
Amongst others as well.
Okay.
It just sounds like it's a little bit better to find stuff, but even I'm more Marvel savvy than anything else. It's still like I find it more enjoyable to dig around the DC app than it ever used to be.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, do you have any other recommendations you would want to toss out DC wise to the?
I like I said, I love the Riddler, and I would want you to check out. It's a 3-part story. I think it's in Detective Comics too, where he has his 2 henchwomen, Query and Echo, which I'm like, God, they were these 2 beautiful girls that hang with him for a time in the comics, and then they're just gone. But I would love to had they been a staple, and of the Riddlers, like going forward, like he's always got, because I was, as a kid watching the '60s series, like all the villains always had a girl at their side, so I was conditioned to always think the villains always had like an attractive woman. Like when Harley Quinn was introduced in the animated series, oh, Joker's got a girl, just like in the '60s show. So I always was kind of cool with that idea that these despicable villains have always got some beautiful women or woman, hanging on their side, and seeing the Riddler's got these 2 beautiful girls. I think Echo's my favorite. She's the long hair, kind of blondish brunette. Like, oh boy, yeah, they're drawn beautifully by Graham Nolan, I think, in their introduction. So there's a 3-part story of them breaking up the Clue Master and sending sending Batman on a very tight puzzle around Gotham to solve crimes with Robin, and the Oracle gets involved with the Clue Master with a bomb tied to him, and they got 15 minutes to get to each part. Otherwise, the Riddler keeps tabs on it, and he'll ignite the bomb on the Clue Master and anyone that's around. So that's a fun little 3-part story. And then there's a good origin story. I think it's Batman Annual 8 or Detective Comics Annual 8, I think, which it's the Riddler pouring his guts out to people who are observing him in Arkham. And he just gives you his whole life story about from childhood and wanting attention, willing to cheat to get the attention, and how he evolved into becoming the Riddler. And it does a good job of honoring like the very, very like original story of the Riddler way back when he was introduced. Because some of the latter stuff is just like, nah. This is a good version. It just shows you, like, I think you would really dig that annual of the Riddler as well. And I know I've got some others I can throw out to you, but there's 2 in particular I would want you in particular to check out. And of course, if anyone hasn't read those, I highly recommend those as well. If I wish I remembered the numbers of that 3-part story with the Riddler and Clue Master and his girls, but I can't remember right off. But I actually owned the first issue of that from years ago, and I just never. I don't know what happened to it, but
that's. What do you mean you don't know what happened?
I don't know. I probably got it somewhere in my comics. I remember buying it back when Dragon's Quest was downtown Radford, and it was just like they had like the world's shittiest back issue band. It was just pretty much just modern comics and comics that are maybe 2, 3, 5 years old max was all they have in their back stock. So.
Okay. Well, there are some recommendations. I guess I'm gonna get the app again and see how that goes, because I haven't really been on the Marvel app as much lately. I mean,
I still read. I mean, I mean, outside of this week, I still go on like before. I was on my DC run. I was reading Werewolf by Night.
Okay.
Like the original, like Jerry Conway from the '70s.
Yeah.
Excuse me, just reading that, and the artwork's not the grandest, but it's still like of a fun kind of '70s horror comic to read. It's kind of a cozy thing to sit there and read before you go into bed. Which is how I view all a lot of the. I only like to read the old stuff anyway.
Right.
I only go as far as like the early 2000s, and even trying to go back and reread some of that stuff. Like, God, man, this. Or going back and reading the New Avengers that Brian Michael Bendis and David Finch worked on. And I remember being so enamored with that line of comics when it first came out, and I just thought, what the hell was I thinking? Like this book sucks. It's like I just thought Bendis' writing's not very good, and I don't know. I just don't know why I thought it was so cool. I think because it was like Spider-Man, Wolverine, a part of the Avengers, and Cap's great, and I don't know. It just was not as good as I remembered it.
I mean, tastes change over time, but there are some recommendations out there for everyone. And with that being said, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
My brother's in trouble. How do you know? I know. Until now, those had it easy. But now it's gonna get real hard. Cobra's hired evil twin brothers, leaders of the Crimson Guard. Introducing the leaders of the Crimson Guard, the evil twin brothers, Tomax and Sabot. And they're getting away in the Cobra Ferret.
The Joes will stop them.
With the G.I. Joe mini tank.
G.I. Joe!
Evil twin brothers sold together. Cobra Ferret, G.I. Joe mini tank, and Joe figures sold separately from Hasbro.
KPDX, Fox 49, and Award Video give you the chance to bring Freddy home for the holidays. On Nightmare on Elm Street 4, the Dream Master from Media Home Entertainment will be available in December, and 50 lucky winners will celebrate with Freddy's complete party kit, including the new video, hats, posters, and other sharp things. Watch Freddy's Nightmares Sunday at 6 p.m. Write the name of the episode on a postcard, then mail or drop it by any Award Video. You might win the contest of your dreams.
Ultra's improved your favorite arcade game. First, we added 2 new levels, then packed it with bigger, stronger enemies and a ton of extra foot soldiers. Next, we punched up the action with knockout new attack moves and crime-fighting scenes like the Ninja Castle. If that doesn't swell your shell, we made one more small adjustment. Introducing the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game, today's biggest hit. For your NES. Free personal pan pizza coupon from Pizza Hut in every box.
And we're back. Tyler, you were mentioning Werewolf by Night earlier, and I seem to recall you talking about having that Marvel Legend in your basket. Did you get that?
It's still in the basket.
Okay, because I was wondering if you had gotten it, what your thoughts were having it in hand, because I was seeing some stuff on Reddit of people that got it and felt a little disappointed.
Yeah, because
they
reused a lot of the Jackal. Like his body and his hands, like the torso and the hands are reused from the Jackal, which I just looked at the figure instantly. Oh my God, it looks amazing. It looks just like, the original, Jack Russell. Like he's slender built like a man. He's not like the big hulking version they have like in modern comics. So I was happy with it, okay. And I still want to buy it, but I learned since then that fans were pissed off that he doesn't come with anything. I'm like, well, he doesn't need to come with anything. I guess they just wanted like an extra head sculpt, which I can understand that.
We were talking about this because I haven't taken it out of the box yet. I'll make myself a little bit bigger and kind of get your thoughts on. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Not doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah. So there's the Penguin, and of course they put the
poster on the back there. Yeah,
poster on the back. So. You got that, and then here's Batman.
The head sculpt of Keaton looks pretty good.
Yeah. Obviously, the camera's not really doing it as much justice on here, but yeah. So I think I'm going to get the rest of those.
All right.
We shall see. And I mean, obviously, it's going to be a little difficult because a good chunk of them are sold out on online stores.
And, so, it's just like how much more needs to be done for people to realize, okay, those Tim Burton films are intensely loved and celebrated, and they still are like skimming. Why can't we get a Joker bomber jacket from the '89 film? Like the gang wears. Like why are they selling shit like that?
That does exist, actually. Huh? Yeah, it does. There's this company called like Roosevelt's, but they have it abbreviated. Because I was actually looking at that. Let me find it for you. Hopefully it's still on here. It could be sold out. I think it's Roosevelt's. It's on that they have, because they have so much stuff now. Maybe
Holy shit! Oh, that's on eBay.
Yeah, thought it was on. Maybe it's sold.
Okay, this it's. What I'm looking at, it's not a full like bomber jacket, but it is a Joker jacket.
What do you have on your end? Show me your phone. The ads. Oh yeah. It's kind of like that. So it's not like it's close.
I really wanted like an actual bomber jacket though.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I felt like in the ones in the movie, it felt like they were like darker color, like they were black almost.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I want. I want a bomber jacket, you know, that looks exactly like the ones that like. Okay, here's a picture of Bob the Goon here.
Okay.
And I guess the color, yeah, it probably is more purple, but the it's so dark.
Yeah.
But it does look like it definitely was more purple than anything else. But yeah, I want a jacket like that.
You'd wear it around proudly.
Fuck yeah.
Get you a hat and you could be Bob the Goon.
Yeah, I can be Bob the Goon 2.0.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. But I always thought that'd be really cool to have something like that. Or just more, you know, I mean, it's so good to know that Cavity Colors put these out, to put the shirts out for the Batman 89 film. More Tim Burton stuff. I mean, hell, if they put it like a Val Kilmer Batman Forever shirt, I'd buy that because I like Val Kilmer's Batman.
I'm sure that they probably will at some point.
Yeah.
Like, I know there'll probably be a Batman and Robin one around the corner too.
Yeah, that they might be pushing it. Even though I know there are people that was probably the first Batman film they saw.
Yeah.
And they're going to have nostalgia for one of the worst. But by this point, I'm like, I still would, you know, assume watch that before watching fucking Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Didn't with the McFarlane line, because I know they did Batman and Robin figures. Isn't Mr. Freeze like the buildable shit? I think you have to buy. I think you have to buy everyone else to build.
Yeah, which I would have, you know, would have been cool to have had Arnold as Mr. Because I still say he looked awesome as Mr. Freeze. It was just an unbelievably shitty version of the character. Like, you know, I got, it was such a missed opportunity with him playing Mr. Freeze. I mean, and with Terminus Poison, that could have been awesome too. But you know, Schumacher has admitted, I'm sorry, I fucked up. We might decide to go excessively campy because Batman Forever was heading that direction and it made so much fucking money. So we'll go even more crazier and campier and sillier. You can't take none of this shit seriously with bad jokes.
We were talking about Pattinson's Batman a little bit briefly with his Batmobile earlier on this episode. And have you seen some of the stuff? It's like Mr. Freeze might be the villain. In
I heard that
two.
a few years back after the movie came out that Matt Reeves wanted to do Mr. Freeze, which I haven't heard anything other than Scarlett Johansson's cast in the second film.
Allegedly she might be the Phantasm. So we shall see. I don't know. It's interesting, but at the same time, I don't know.
Well, if they haven't learned anything from that first film, it's like too many fucking villains. I swear to God, in this day, they got to keep cramming mob bosses or lower tier comic book villains on top of like two major villains. Like, dude, put your focus on one villain. Yeah, you can have crime bosses and stuff like that too, but man, you know, Catwoman, that's probably the most forgettable version of Catwoman that's been done. She doesn't do a fucking thing in that movie. Nothing. Even go back and rewatch him. Like, okay, there's the one sequence where her and Batman, you know, attacked. I forgot what it was anyway. But that's probably the only action she does. The rest of the time, she just kind of stands around and talks to Batman.
Is that a movie? Is that a movie that you think you would go back and rewatch again? Because you're saying rewatch. I've only seen it one time.
Last year. I watched it last, I think, February or something like that, and it's a fucking long movie. I mean, I actually had to break it up over a couple of nights just because I was watching it on a work night. So I watched what I could and come back and watch the rest. Pattinson is a great Batman. His Bruce Wayne leaves a lot to be desired. I thought Wayne Manor looked like, what the fuck is this? Like it just looked ridiculous. I did enjoy the take on the Riddler even though I feel like it's not, you know, full on like Riddler. Like I just, you know, the Riddler's about wanting to outsmart Batman, be better than Batman, and it's not really what he does in the movie.
Mhm.
But you know, the fight at the nightclub where Batman wants to go see the Penguin, like that's a great sequence. I really enjoy that. But then like the whole subplot of like, oh well, Bruce Wayne's parents were really fucked up. Like his mom had mental issues and his dad's trying to cover it up. And Carmine Falcone is like, what is the purpose of this subplot? What does this do anything for the character? Does this do anything for the world's greatest detective? No, it makes him look like an idiot.
I don't remember any of that.
Well, and it was so unnecessary. And then it's like, oh no, it's true. I was hiding the truth from you, Bruce. Like, why do we need to include this? That's what I'm thinking. Like Matt Reeves, like stop sucking his dick. Like he was not that great of a Batman guy. You know, I think, like I said, Pattinson was a good Batman. But he would have been perfect as Terry McGinnis.
I'm so we talked about that. So
the way he looks in the movie, the emo look, like that looks more like Terry McGinnis, even though Terry McGinnis is not emo.
Yep, and then you're gonna waste Keaton coming back on that shitty Flash movie. He could have just been Old Man Bruce. You could have just done a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah, and then it's like no, Marvel did so well with that fucking Spider-Man where it's just nothing but cameos and a shitty story. We'll do our version of that, and then it fucking bombed.
What a bummer. Would I go back and try to rewatch the Batman? Maybe, if anything, maybe rewatch that first half because I thought the first half of the movie.
Yeah, the first half is good, but it just drags and drags, and that you know the Riddler's ultimate scheme of like flooding Gotham. I'm like, I just feel like that's
you gotta jump back into the book and I haven't started the second book yet. I'm still waiting on you.
I know. I was thinking, that's in my Amazon basket too. I'm like, I've got to finish that first one so I can read Robin Williams as the Riddler.
Yeah.
At least I think that's some of the art that's been released to tie in with it. I think someone did some artwork that had Robin Williams illustrated as the Riddler. It looked really good.
Yeah. Robin Williams would have been a really good Riddler.
I still hate, and I hate, and he's talked about it, but only in such short bits about that he was offered the Joker, but it was means of like trying to get Jack Nicholson to agree. Hey, look, we're going to give it to Robin Williams if you're not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's used as a pawn almost with that. And then he's offered the Riddler and then decided to go with Jim Carrey because he's the biggest star on the planet at the time. And it's like, fuck, you know, like it is, even though I was a Jim Carrey nut and was so thrilled that he's playing the Riddler, I was crazy about that. I look back like, fuck, dude, man.
Robin Williams, man.
Like, but it wouldn't have been a sinister Riddler. It would have been him ad-libbing all over the place, which would have been awesome and fun. But knowing what Robin Williams could do as a villain, oh my god, like it would have been so fucking cool to see him play it straight.
Yeah, especially when you take a look at 1 Hour Photo
and Insomnia.
If you take those blend together and add that layer, and make him the Riddler, it would have been.
Oh my god, yeah, and just a guy that's like, I want to prove that I'm better than Batman, and just doing everything he can just to like play up the psychology and not just be like, I was an orphan and everyone forgot about me. Like, that ain't the fucking Riddler, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, God, like, why everyone is just got this boner for like, we got to make the villains tragic and sad. And I'm thinking, who's pushing for it? Are the actors saying, I won't play that part unless they're sympathetic?
I know. I don't think it's the actors at all. That's all studio interference and just because you've seen it in documentaries more often than not too, like the writers having to change stuff or like they've written in a certain way, studio doesn't like it, hires another writer takes it, changes it and makes it, oh, this is what you wanted. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. It's like
like why do you guys feel it's such a great idea? Marvel villains, DC villains, and villains in general, they're not bad guys anymore. They're just, they make mistakes, but they're labeled as the villain of the movie. But you're like, I guess they all feel like they're doing something smart and philosophical.
I don't know. I don't know.
Dumb.
Yeah, that's big old 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Speaking, since it is the Christmas season, we talked about stuff that we've been watching, but Tyler, you're once again no tree, right? You're just sticking with your string lights that you got.
No, I do have a small fiber optic tree I bought this year it's the first time I put a tree up in probably over 10 years.
Okay. Yeah, we bought a new one yesterday because the one that we've had it for a little bit. So we bought one yesterday. May put it up later and decorate it because as of this recording, when you guys see this on the channel, we're going to be even closer to Christmas. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where if it starts to go on too much longer, it's like, dude,
Kind of missed you're like, yeah, what's the point now?
Well, yeah, but it's also such a pain in the ass. Like,
That's why I was like, okay, I'll get a tree. I'm not decorating it though. I'll let the fiber optic be the decoration. I don't have
Oh yeah,
string.
just yeah, it lights up.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of cool ornaments, but I'm like, I don't feel like unboxing them all and then taking them and putting them back in their boxes again. I just don't want to deal with it right now. And I keep the lights up year round because they're fun. But and my intention was to get like a small little Christmas tree and put it on the coffee table and then decorate it with like the California raisins with Christmas stuff and Garfield and Odie, which I bought. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend any more money on stuff like this right now because I was going to get the Scrooge movie poster, a better one, because I got fucked on the one that I bought years ago.
What happened with that?
It was just a really bad copy. I thought I was buying an original. It was just a really shitty. Someone made their own version. I was like, this is bullshit. And I wanted to buy, an authentic either VHS or an original and put it up on display to put right next to the tree. I'm like, I'm buying presents and things like that. I just, I'm losing the mood and I don't want to spend any more money.
Losing the mood? You're losing the Christmas spirit?
No, not this mood, like the desire to buy it.
Oh, okay.
That it's just like, you know what? Because at this point I should have bought it. Because I actually put my tree up before Thanksgiving. Because I'm like, I just feel like, and one of the things I stopped doing is because, I put my tree up and I don't ever enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I get people are doing it more decorating earlier because Christmas comes and goes so damn quickly. You have no time to enjoy it. And I'm like, you know what? I get people are decorating way before Thanksgiving because when Thanksgiving hits, the season kicks off officially even more so. And it flies by and there's no time to enjoy the buildup because you're busy with work, family, kids, whatever the case may be. You have no time to sit and enjoy it. So I get people putting stuff up way in advance because you want to have time to enjoy it because then you had to pull all this shit down.
Yeah, it's such a pain. That's the biggest
pain.
And
that's the part I dread. I'm like, I'll do this because it's small and just squeeze it back up and throw it in the box and put it in the closet and I won't see it again for another year.
Yeah. And maybe next year you can take some of the ornaments and put on there.
Maybe, but I was just like, I'm good with this,
dude.
Right now,
every year, Mom gets the catalog in July that has the Hallmark ornaments in it. Mark what you want, so we mark it. I have so many Hallmark ornaments over like the last 15 years, probably. It's excessive, and I'm reaching a point where we have to stop because you can't fit everything that we have on the tree anymore. And it's not just my ornament. Like Mom's buying Hallmark ornaments for Emily, so Emily has Hallmark ornaments too. And
guess you guys got to get separate trees. His and hers.
Yeah, we don't have the space for it because we put the tree in the bedroom actually, just because you had dogs. You don't know how, because before when we had Jasper, his whole thing, you can't put ornaments towards the bottom because he will just pull the shit off.
Yeah.
You don't know when he's going to do it, but he would come home and there would just be an ornament like smashed up on it. And you're like, okay. So we stopped putting the tree out in the living room because you never know what the dogs are going to do. So we just keep it in the bedroom. And that's really cozy because it's, you put the lights on and you're just like, you go to sleep. You're like, oh, that's nice.
See, I can't fall asleep. I have to turn, I turn the lights on until I get ready to go to bed.
You have to just sleep total darkness, total silence.
Yeah.
Right?
No distractions, no light. I need pitch black.
I actually sleep better when it's light outside. Maybe that's just the night owl second shift kind of life. But when I was on first shift, I had so much trouble just going to sleep at night.
Well, you spent the majority of your life being a night owl, so I'm not surprised, man.
Yeah, but I just sleep better during the day. Like if I go to bed when the sun's coming up, it's totally okay. But I get where you're coming from. You one of those you get the eye mask?
No. Erica got me these blacked out curtains that helps block out light.
Finally.
Which
because for no one that really knows, if you walk in a tight, you can see it right there to the left. My man doesn't have curtains anywhere else in the house.
No, I didn't give a shit about curtains. I'm like, it's just more shit I got to deal with. But she got it because she knew, like, it was a
You
big
had-
deal, like to be able to not be distracted by the sun on
Yeah.
on my days off. So she went and got them and put them up for me. And I got some extra pillows too that she gave me. So now I just kind of build like when I'm like not quite ready to get up, like you're kind of gradually getting there. I built like a fort of pillows around my head, like and make it like a little tent of pillows and just kind of lay there and like just savor. Like I ain't got to go to work today. This is awesome.
I kind of do that, but I do it more if I'm laying on my side. I take the pillow and put it like on the open side of my head that's not resting, just to kind of muffle noise. So I because I don't mind it, but she likes to sleep with the TV on. So I could do that, but I gotta muffle the noise, and I have a white noise machine too, because I just like having like some just static that I can just.
She uses the exact same thing, and it's always the white noise. That is her go-to.
It's
I
so
used
good.
to think, will you turn that shit off? Now I'm oblivious to it because I'm like, if she's cool with me reading comics on my iPad, that's not bothering her. I'm fine with the white noise. So
yeah, Emily did that once. She was like, "Will you turn that thing off?" And I was like, "No." And she was like,
"No." I used to sleep with like Mystery Science Theater playing in the background. I would put it like Final Sacrifice. Seen it a million times, just something familiar to fall asleep to. And when I feel like I'm fading out, I would turn it off with my eyes closed. But now I'm like, no sound. I just read comics until I can't comprehend what I'm reading, and then
just put the sleep timer on the TV, man. That's a
well,
good
because
go-to.
a lot of times I would continue to watch, and sometimes I'd be up later longer than the timer.
Oh, okay.
And I tried that a few times when I was younger. I'm like, it was just more of a distraction.
Mm.
And that's when I didn't realize too, watching things that stimulate me, like things I haven't seen before, or things that are just more engaging to watch. Like, don't watch shit like that before you go to bed, because my brain gets wired and ready to go. And even though my body's tired, my brain's not shutting down. And then I struggle going to sleep. I'm like, fuck. I'm sitting there watching Jaws and Devil's Advocate multiple times as a teenager, going right before I go to bed. Well, why can't I go to sleep? Because I'm watching all these stimulating movies before going to bed.
I'm the opposite. Even if it's something that I really enjoy, like if I'm comfortable on the couch, especially on the couch, there's something about it. Like, got the blanket on, nice, not like too hot, not too cold, just nice, comfy, putting something on. I'm like, oh yeah, it's the good stuff. And then I fall asleep. It actually happened last night. I put Batman Returns on because it was talking about.
I was actually put that on earlier before we started this episode. I was putting that on, watching it. I
got like probably 40 minutes into it, I think. And at some point I fell asleep, and I woke up at the very, very end when Shrek's getting fried.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like now I'm gonna have to just go back and watch the rest of it again. So yeah, that kind of sucked, but it was also my fault too because I put it on pretty late. So
I mean, I'll finish it today. I made it a point. Like, I'm gonna watch that. I don't know when I'll watch Scrooged, because I always like to at least watch it once or twice every year, and I haven't watched it the first time. But if I finish it up, I might even try and watch Scrooged tonight and make that my kind of finale for the weekend. That way, I've got one viewing of it and maybe watch it again close to like Christmas Eve or something like that.
I can't believe you watched that twice in a Christmas season.
I think last year I just watched it once.
Okay.
Because I was just kind of indifferent to it, because where we don't do the traditional Christmas thing, it's always after Christmas. So like Christmas Day is just kind of like another day. You just can't do anything.
Yeah.
So but last year I remember I spent Christmas Eve, I got home from work and just watched Scrooged, then watched George C. Scott's Christmas Carol, and then watched Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, and then I was like, I can't watch anymore. I'm done. I'm out. I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then once Christmas is here, I don't watch anything else Christmas related. Like Christmas Eve is the peak of the hype.
Mm-hmm.
And once that hits, I'm like, Christmas Day, I'm not watching anything Christmas related. I have no desire.
I'm the same way in that regard. Like when because most of the time we will open Christmas presents. It's on Christmas Eve, but it's past midnight, so technically it is Christmas. Yeah. And then we start opening them, do that, and then it's like hang out a little. Like one year we put on Jingle All the Way while we were opening presents because it had been a long time since I had seen that, and actually kind of liked it way more now than I did back then. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's something that could have been so much better, but just bad dialogue, jokes that aren't funny.
Yeah, That's okay.
kind of one of the things. Like, dude, and Arnold can be genuinely fucking funny, and it's just not a great script, but a lot of good actors in it. Rita Wilson is the hot ass wife. Bella Hartman is the nosy neighbor that's trying to mac on Rita Wilson. Like, it's a good cast. I like Sinbad in it. And the whole Turbo Man thing. But Jake Lloyd, like, he's not giving any great dialogue either. Of course, he's not much better, and he's no better in Phantom Menace either. Poor guy.
That's true. Yeah. He's that guy's been through a lot. But Scrooge is on the list to watch at some point here, and I guess maybe I'll put one of those on tonight. Home Alone. I like putting that on.
I haven't seen Home Alone 2 in probably even longer than the first film. I just loved it, saw it in theaters I think a couple times, and owned it. But it's just one of those movies, like, I remember every bit of it. I just never had a desire to sit back down. And, will I enjoy this, or just kind of like, it just doesn't really hold up for me.
Yeah, the Talk Boy scene.
I had the Talk Boy pen. I really wanted the actual Talk Boy, but I had the Talk Boy pen.
I had one, and my dad liked to sing when he was in the shower. So much like the movie, I sat outside the door.
Were you wearing a sweater too, and trying to?
No, I wasn't wearing the sweater, but like recorded him, and then was kind of giving him some shit for it. And then then it was one of those things where he just never sang when he was taking a shower ever again.
You made him paranoid.
I made him paranoid. There's a couple more.
I got to watch the Christmas cartoons too. The tape that has all the things from 1987 that my mom recorded. I will watch that from beginning to end.
Yeah, with
all the 80s commercials mixed in, and I always look forward to that. There was a stretch I couldn't watch it because it was depressing. Because, like, Christmas is not magical anymore, and all this does remind me of how magical it was. And now I can at least watch and say, you know what, God, these are so fucking great. They're memorable. They're so well done. Reminds me of a time where, like, I wish it was still here, but it's not. But I don't go into a deep Tim Burton depression about it.
Admittedly, when it snowed a couple days ago, and I guess we're going to get a little bit more, but it's going to be a little less like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Seeing the snow with it being December, it kind of puts me in the spirit. But overall, I kind of look at it as just racking my brain of, what am I gonna get this person? What am I gonna get my parents? Like, so it feels more stressful. And then going out to just even if you just got to get stuff for the house, like toilet paper or paper towels, like
everywhere, it's slammed. My mom went out shopping yesterday, and I can't imagine what Christiansburg must have looked like yesterday in our little town, which there ain't jack shit, but people are going out as if like it's Times Square in New York.
There's but there's like nothing. Now, granted, I found those McFarlane Batman figures, but half the time there's not really anything.
Nothing.
You just got an online shop.
And that's it. And the world's shittiest mall.
Yeah, it is pretty bad now.
I mean, even at Christmas, it's nothing but tumbleweeds in it. And people turn out like you do realize there's nothing in here, right?
Yeah,
just Bath and Body Works. That's the only hopping.
Well, hey, Santa's there. Take the kids to go see Santa, and they do a better job. I'll give places credit. Now in today's times, they do a better job of finding a guy that's actually got a legit beard and looks like Santa. It's not just someone wearing fake shit like we had a lot of times as kids.
Which I wasn't trying to like decipher. Okay, I'm pretty sure this beard's fake. Once I got to the stage, like, okay, this guy must work for Santa, so I'll tell him everything I want, and he'll pass it on to the real Santa.
It was a good way.
That was kind of my logic when I got a little bit older and started thinking, like, okay, I'm starting to realize Santa's in an awful lot of places. These guys all must work for him.
Yeah,
that was my logic. And of course, if there was a Hill sticker or Kmart sticker, okay, he ran out of these action figures. He had to stop by Hills on his way here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
could you just picture that Santa stopping by Hills and just like,
I can't. Yeah, he's like,
Tyler really wanted this. God damn it! All right. How old were you when you finally learned that?
I learned before my dad told me, and my dad was trying to he was building up as if he was going to tell me the most devastating thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm like, Dad, I've already figured it out.
Yeah. How old were you?
I think it was in like 4th or 5th grade, I think.
Okay, so you were actually a little bit older than me. I found out in 3rd grade, and it was through another kid had mentioned it. And it was
that's the thing. I would hear people say shit like that.
Yeah.
And like from kindergarten to maybe third grade, I definitely believe still. And then 4th grade, I'm thinking somewhere maybe in between there and 5th is when I started to kind of think, I think this is a little, it's not what I was hoping it would be, and turns out, but at least up until I know third grade for sure, I was still buying into the magic. But somewhere in there's when Dad wouldn't tell me that, yeah, it's. I'm like, yeah, Dad, I know.
Yeah,
And
mine was hearing it, another kid saying it, and then just me straight up asking my parents when I got home that day. I was like, "Is Santa real?"
I'm surprised they told you that early though.
Well, I mean,
third grade. I mean, you're still a kid. I mean, this is like 1993, man. Like,
yeah, so I was 9 years old, so it's. I don't know. I think 9, 10 is usually kind of an appropriate
I think once you read,
not
around, and once you're heading towards 10 years old, I feel like that's an appropriate time for kids to find out, because, if you can maintain that magic for children for a consistently long time, like I would keep it going, because it's exciting for the parents. At least I hope it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing, because we don't have kids. I think that would probably be the reason why it was like, yeah, the magic's gone. That's why you have to have kids, right? Brings the magic.
Yeah, if I had kids, it'd be hyping up. But you know what? No one would. And I told my mom, I said, if I had kids, look at the shit they'd be asking for. They're not asking for cool ass action figures and games and stuff like that. It's, I want the latest updated version of this, and I want a $200 this. Like, ain't nothing fun about this.
To them,
but this is what they want. I'm like, don't you want some toys and some peanut butter or something like that?
Toys and some peanut butter.
I'm quoting Uncle Buck.
Oh yeah, dude, I haven't watched Uncle Buck in
I didn't either, but that was one of my favorite lines. Like, yeah, I'll get some toys and some peanut butter. I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. Imagine going to Toys R Us with John Candy as an uncle. Like, he's like, whatever you want. He-Man and Thundercats, throw them all in the buggy here.
Yeah, you can do that. You can be the cool uncle.
Well, that's what I did for a long stretch, and now both my nephews, they're not really like Brian's. It's all about sports, which is great, and Eli, he still likes, some stuff, but they don't play with action figures hardly that much.
Oh, that sucks.
And I was buying them G.I. Joe classifieds and various other stuff, and they still got a ton of action figures, but I just don't know how often. Eli, the youngest, I don't think he plays with them that much. I think some, but like I got him a Miles Morales Spider-Man costume for Christmas, because that's something he specifically asked for.
Okay.
Because he likes to wear superhero costumes. So, I mean, that's still superhero related, but they're watching their stream stuff, and they watch stuff on their little iPad and play these. I don't know what kind of games they are. They're just like, what the hell is this? Like, this is this just doesn't look like a PlayStation or a Nintendo game, which they have that as well. But I just, you go and look, see what kids are into, what's in the toy. I was like, it sucks.
Yeah.
You don't have that magic of all this wide assortment of action figures, which that's what the Christmas was built on action figures for me as a kid.
I know. It's just adult collectibles, and just people our age in the aisles.
Yeah, we're the only ones keeping the toy industry alive. People our age.
Right? Yeah, it's sad, but it's true. I mean, legitimately, they could probably get rid of most of that and just make it all adult collectible stuff. And
because I mean, look what they've done with retail. Like, you can say whatever toy line it is, they just, they don't put. There's not a whole lot of shelf space devoted to this stuff, because it's $25 to $30 a piece. Mm-hmm. Kids aren't interested. The adults are the only ones interested, but they can't. We all can't go out and be scalpers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I wish it was back in store so I could do it. Dude, if that were the only case, you'd be one pissed off customer right now, because you wouldn't be finding shit.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I get a nugget every now and again. Yeah. Like, I saw that yesterday, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking pick and they were on sale. I can't stress that enough, because it was they're originally $34.99. I got them for $20.99. I was like, all right, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely. But I guess with that being said, we have all of our Christmas. Actually, drop us a comment down below and let us know when you found out that Santa wasn't real. When did the magic of Christmas go away for you as a kid? But I mean, we say that, but then also after I learned, I would still get excited for Christmas.
Yeah, me too.
It would be like, oh, I asked for a PlayStation 1. I really hope I get it. And then you see something that looks similar to the box that's wrapped up, that's under the tree, and you're like, I hope this is it.
Yeah. I mean, it's back when you didn't have to pay for anything. You're excited. You're still, you and your sibling, or just you, are like the center of attention for Christmas. Like, hey, I'm enjoying this. I've asked for this and this and this and this is going to be great. And then Distant Relatives gave me gift certificates from Walden Books and Walmart. I'm going to go shopping right after Christmas. And,
Yep, that was the thing too. It's like everyone, all the relatives, they're going to be giving me money, and then I would start to think it's like, well, last year this is how much they gave me. If they gave me the same amount this year, and then this,
it's
this is how much money
you
I'm
have like the
calculator,
yeah,
tapping it up.
typing up, crank. Okay, if I had this, okay, all right, I need this year. And
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm definitely going to go out and get this video game. Or I remember specifically too, the one Christmas getting the money. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go out and see if I can find some Lord of the Rings figures. And then sure as shit, I think it was between Christmas and New Year's. I went out, I think it was Target. I found a tree beard and I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I just want to spend my Christmas money on. Oh, good times.
Yeah, I've got several of those. I remember one buying a lot of Star Wars Powers of the Force and then running out of money before New Year's. Like, oh my God, I'm poor now. And then feeling like, but I really want to buy Chewbacca in this speeder bike. And I bought him like, I have no more money. Was it really worth buying this? But I wanted it. But do I really need it now? And had that buyer's remorse. And then going out right after Christmas buying Killer Instinct for Super Nintendo, which is the only Super Nintendo game I own outside of Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario World. Because we just rented all the time.
Jesus.
I bought that in Hard Target on VHS.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Mom was sitting there. We were like putting something together, and I put on Hard Target. It's the sequence where Van Damme's buddy, who's wearing the Vietnam jacket, gets gunned down on the street, and my mom was like, "I don't know if you guys should be watching this." Like, Mom, we've already seen this a million times already. Just have
shut up, Mom.
Yeah, it's like, Mom, you let me buy it. It's rated R. What did you expect? But she didn't. She's just like, okay, he wants this, okay. And then once you watch it, she's like, oh my God, what are my kids watching?
And between that and the violence of Killer Instinct,
which she had, my parents were not. They had no qualms about the video games. Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, they were not monitoring. Oh, you're not playing that, Yeah,
my parents didn't give a shit about whatever video games I was playing.
Movies were the only thing that they would, from time to time, which I've often said, why are you okay with this? But you objected to me watching that. You're throwing off, what's considered okay in this household to watch. I mean, they have with both parents.
I didn't have a VCR. Like, I had a TV in my room, but I didn't have a VCR in my room until I was a teenager. So at that point, it went even further. If I don't care. So when I was younger, any movies that we were watching is something that they picked out at the video store. So I'm sitting there watching it with them. So that's
pretty much all for a stretch from like 89 when we moved to Fairlawn till I don't know when in the 90s. Me and Derek had the only VCR, and it was up in our room. We had the upstairs. It was like one big room. So this old TV, we had to use a hair dryer to get it to turn on because it was so old and beat up from the 80s.
God.
And we had the only VCR. So we pretty much dominated like the VCR watching. And if Mom and Dad rented something for themselves, they had to like, okay, we rented Dancing with Wolves. We're going to watch this. And we rented Paradise with Don Johnson.
Dances with Wolves is a good movie, but it's very long. So even as a kid, I imagine it's like, all right, I'm going to go do this now. And you guys have fun.
Yeah. And I know it. I know I told you the story before, but it was the discrepancy of like I refused to eat peas at dinner, and my dad said, "Okay, you can't come upstairs and watch the movie and have chocolate cake. You got to sit in your room." I'm like, okay, because I'm like I wasn't dying to watch Dancing with the Wolves, and I sure as hell ain't eating peas, So I was just, and he came downstairs like, "All right, you gonna try it?" I said, "All right," and I went, he's like, "All right, just get on upstairs." I was like, I didn't give a shit about watching Dance with the Wolves, and I can't remember if I got have any chocolate cake or not. But
oh man, peas are good, man.
No vegetables, I can't eat them, man.
Yeah. Peas are great. Cream peas are great. You just put a little salt, a little pepper on there.
I remember having cooked carrots at your all's house back in high school.
Yeah,
and was washing it down with water because I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to offend your parents. Like I don't eat vegetables.
Yeah, Tyler's food pick. What you needed it to do was just be like, I have food allergies. I can't.
It didn't occur to me because I didn't know what you guys were having. It was like,
Oh man,
you know, it was like, oh my god, like they're not having pizza,
yeah.
you know, or chicken, or you know,
Tyler's coming over. Let's
spaghetti.
have pizza.
And it's like we're having pot roast and carrots. Like fuck.
Yep, and potatoes.
Yeah, everything I was not interested in because my mom would cook pot roast. Like, this shit sucks, Mom. Because she'd always buy like cheap meat, and it was just like eating rubber. And I was like, the ketchup was not covering up how bland this meal was. And she's like, yeah, I would get cheap with the meat sometimes. And that's why I didn't care for steaks growing up either, because whenever we would have steak, it would be cheap meat.
Yeah, it'd be the cube steak, probably.
Yeah, and it was just like I'd eat it with ketchup because like this is boring as shit. It's not good.
Yeah, A1 sauce, man.
Oh, see, that's my brother would drink that out of the fucking bottle practically.
Yeah.
He'd just cover his steak. And I'm like, no, oof. No. That's why I do like steaks, but it's like once in a blue moon, like a filet mignon or something like that, you know.
Oh yeah, it's like you go into a restaurant.
Yeah,
kind of deal.
but something that's tender, and I don't need ketchup to eat it, but but that's how it was growing up because I'm like, this shit sucks. I need something to help me eat it. And,
yeah, you and Josh, man, so picky with your foods. I think now the tides have turned. Josh used to be way pickier than you, and now like I think his wife had pretty much like forced him. It's like, well, if you don't like this, go get something, or you're not fucking eating. You're just like, so yeah. I think
I'm more inclined. Eric is the only one to fix potatoes that I would eat wholeheartedly. Like the way she makes potatoes, like, I'll eat them all day because I just love the way she makes potatoes. But and she's got me to try certain things. Some of them, like, okay, that was really good, and I was like, nah, forget it. I'm not eating that again. I'm not doing it.
I had a frozen vegetable pizza last night. It had zucchini, red onion, mushroom. What I think there was another topping on there too. It was pretty good. I'm not a big mushroom guy, but I
hate mushrooms.
I'll eat mushrooms on occasion, especially if they're on a pizza because it's kind of masked by all.
Oh God, I've bitten into mushrooms that were hidden underneath the cheese. Where back in the day when your parents would split the pizza, all right, I want cheese on one side, I want this, and this on the other side, and you bite into a slice where there's part of the toppings are kind of blended into the old cheese section. Like what the you know,
what is it with parents and pizza, especially back then? Because my parents were a big stickler for Supreme pizza.
My mom, that was their big thing. It was typically Supreme and onions, peppers, hamburger. You know, make it all hamburger, but put green peppers and onions on one side, and the other side was just hamburger and cheese or pepperoni.
Yeah.
You know?
I was more give me just pepperoni, maybe some sausage.
I did like sausage for a stretch too, but now I'm strictly like ground beef and grilled chicken on pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if pepperoni, obviously that's a no-brainer, but I'm one of those weirdos that likes ham and pineapple on a pizza. So I know a lot of people.
I've yet to try that, but Erica swears it's good too. And I said, well, that's what Nathan says.
Dude, yeah, give it a shot. Try it. Well, enough of the food conversation, but I hope everyone has enjoyed this episode of the Spinner Rack. Tyler threw out some recommendations of other books to check out. Do that. I need to get on. I'll get on top of that, Tyler. I'll sub back up to the DC app. As I stated before, leave us a comment down below. Let us know your Christmas traditions, when the magic was ruined for you, and if you have kids, does it feel the same, or at least parallel to that? Because I imagine it kind of has to be, other than the frustrations of putting shit together in the middle of the night.
I do remember being at my brother's house a couple of years ago for Christmas, and we stayed up that night, like getting things set up, and that's when I saw all the stuff from Santa was wrapped up. Like, what the hell is this shit? The stuff from Santa, it comes out of the sack and set right in front of the tree. You don't wrap up shit from Santa. It needs to be boom right there in front of your face.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm saying this mentally because they've already done this, and I'm just like thinking like,
you should have called them out on it.
They've already wrapped up everything. I remember talking to Mom about this. This is complete bullshit. I said, Santa Claus is here's all these action figures. You're just overwhelmed. Oh my God! And then oh my God, Mom and Dad have stuff for us too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is no good.
Yeah, I mean that's what my parents would do.
But I think that's just what Katie Day and her family. Everything came from Santa was wrapped up too. And like, I think Derek just went along with it. Derek's really big about decorating for Christmas and Halloween, going balls out for decorations inside and outside, doing all kinds of great things for the kids, putting out treats for the reindeer on the steps, doing a lot of fun stuff, and I love that he does that. I mean, there are no he does not cut any corners. I mean,
he should take like some baby Ruths and like ball them up and make it like reindeer turds.
Turds, you know.
Yeah.
Boy, the boys they'd have a field day. Oh my God, there's reindeer poop at
But saying that he goes all out, especially with outside decorations, I would hate to see his electric bill. Holy fuck!
I mean, you know, it's
worth
not,
worth
he
it, I guess.
Full on Clark Griswold with it, but he does do a lot of decorating. But it's Halloween. I think is probably one of his favorites, if not his favorite, because he buys a lot of shit and sets it up outside for Halloween. Like
I think in terms of like decorating Halloween, I much prefer.
He's not on the roof putting shit up or anything like that, but it's more about what he can put outside, lights immediately, maybe on the bushes, and then on the inside, it's a wide variety of like old school decorations that we had growing up and stuff like that too, which is good. He does that. He'll draw and sit there and color stuff with the kids, to put up and decorate things and things like that. So it's cool that he does all that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully let us know if you have kids. Is that magic kind of retained like you had when you were a child? I would hope that would be the case. But like this episode, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until later, we'll catch you on the next issue.
See, my problem is this little fella. I can't get the antlers on there. We tried Crazy Glue, but it won't work. Have you tried Staples?
Nope.
See if I can throw out another quote from you.
Are you laughing?
That thing looks like the Manson family Christmas special. Well, it's a little late to get this kind of feedback. That's because the first time I've seen it, sir. Who is that guy? Elliot Latimer. Okay. Tell him to pack up his things and toss him out of the building. What, he's fired? But it's Christmas. Thank you.
Scrooged.
Call accounting. Stop his bonus.
Scrooged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best Christmas movie of all time.
When you were doing that first quote, I was like, I think it's Scrooge, but I kind of don't know. And I'm like, you got to give me some more on that one.
Yeah, I may try to squeeze in viewing that tonight. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna watch it in 4K and
I'll
enjoy the hell out of the best Christmas story that's ever been told. Man, fuck Elf and all these other bullshit movies and all these shitty renditions of the Grinch. God, like that. There's that one version where it's animated, but there's like rap music with the Grinch. Like, what the hell is this shit? Like Benjamin Cumberbatch plays the Grinch.
Actually, I think I have watched that one.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
I thought most of it was okay, but obviously,
I didn't care for it. I was like, this rap motif of singing the Grinch. Like, God, you guys are really trying to say, oh, well, look how modern and hip we are. Like, I'm sorry, rap and Christmas doesn't, outside of Run DMC, it's like, I'm sorry, rap and Christmas doesn't seem to blend too well together.
We were talking about, not you and I was having a conversation with Emily about this, and it's like, they don't really make new Christmas songs anymore. It's just people rehashing the same shit. Oh, yeah. I'm like, come up with some new Christmas songs, man.
It just shows you, like, I just kind of feel like, well, because most Christmas music is bad anyway. There are very, very few where I'm like, I don't mind if that's playing. If it's Nat King Cole's Chestnuts Roasting Fire, or even Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas, which was like probably the last modern Christmas song. Like, you know what? If that's playing, like, that's a catchy song because she's got a beautiful voice and she's fucking hot. Yeah, but they've kind of taken that song and really ran. Oh, they do, and they just they rape and tear it apart and do a new rendition here. And this person decides they're going to do a mixed version of it. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I heard on the radio. I heard a Michael Bublé version of
Michael Bubbles.
Yeah, Michael Bubbles. His rendition of All I Want for Christmas Is You. But yeah, I mean, not all those older ones are great too. Because
no, they're not. A lot of them are just lousy too, and it's just.
I think the one I hate the most is probably that Dominic the Donkey song.
I don't think I've heard Dominic the Donkey.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
That song sucks. But I mean, Jackson 5 have a couple of Christmas songs.
Jackson 5, they have fucking talent, so they can sing they can sing the phone book and it would be interesting to listen or fun to listen to.
I do like that Alvin and the Chipmunks song.
I hear that playing and I'm like, it's not something I would put on deliberately, but if it's playing, it doesn't bother. It's like a nostalgia kind of thing almost. Yeah. But
I mean, I admittedly, even though I'm I don't like Christmas music that much. I have put on Christmas music this year. Just so,
I would much rather listen to the music from the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Okay, yeah.
Which I remember being in Pittsburgh, that was playing on the radio, and I think two songs from it are like, oh my God, Charlie Brown, and just sitting there listening to that, and it's beautiful. I mean, we even bought the CD many years ago. It was like discounted, like at Disc Jockey or something like that, like for like $5 or something like that. And Mom bought it for us, and we played it. Like, this is beautiful music. You know, yeah, you got a little bit of some choir in there singing, but it's beautiful music. It sounds great, and it's not trash. And I feel like it's such a common thing thrown around with music. People are like, it's not a back in my day kind of thing. I'm just like, I've heard so much Christmas music, and most of it's just bad.
Yeah.
Country Christmas music, you know, it's just, or just doing versions of Jingle Bells or this and that, and everyone just does their version, throws in, oh yeah, like multiple times to kind of expand it, because this is Travis Tritt's version of Jingle Bells. Goes, oh yeah, or this is Taylor Swift's version of Deck the Halls. Oh yeah,
put a bullet in my head.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't. In fact, launch a bazooka at my head. Yeah, stop.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Grace, what in the hell is this?
Well, that's a painting one of my kids did. There's Santa Claus and there's Mrs. Claus.
Honey, how many fingers does Mrs. Santa Claus have here?
11.
11. Right. It's crap. Lose it. I don't want it on the wall.